Hope you enjoyed the journey through your basic exercises. Now we enter a new stage of our Carnatic journey, the Geethams. Now so far all the exercises and the songs that we learnt contained only plain notes, right? But now for the first time we are going to learn songs with simple gamakas. You know, gamakas are the backbone of Carnatic music, right? So in this course we are going to explore Geethams in different ragas and we will learn how to sing these simple gamakas. And once we practice the simple gamakas, our voice becomes more flexible to sing challenging gamakas as well. So in today's video, I am going to show you how to learn a Geetham and what are the elements that we are going to cover in this course. So by the end of this video, you will get a clear idea of what is the approach we are going to follow in the full course. So the first step is the Arohanam and Avarohanam. Now before we start singing the Geetham, we should always sing the Arohanam and Avarohanam with the appropriate gamakas, so that we understand the basic gamakas first and then start singing the song. So for example, if we are going to learn a Geetham in raga Mohanam. So let's look at the Arohanam Avarohanam first.
Sari ga pa da sa sa da pa ga ri sa.
Right? So you see there were a lot of simple glides between the notes. It was not a plain singing like
Sari ga pa da sa sa da pa ga ri sa.
We did not sing like that, right? We sang it as
Sari ga pa da sa sa da pa ga ri sa.
So some notes were plain and some notes were gliding. So you need to observe which notes have to carry that glide. So that was the Arohanam and Avarohanam. Now coming to the second point, the concept of Swaram and Sahithyam. Now earlier when we were learning basic exercises, we were singing only Swarams, right? But now we have two elements. We have the Swaram and we have the Sahithyam. Sahithyam means lyrics, right? So if our Swaram goes like
Ga ga pa pa da pa sa sa,
then our Sahithyam will be like
Vara veena mridu pani.
So the tune of the Sahithyam should be exactly same as the tune of the Swarams. So all the gamakas, all the nuances have to be exactly the same. Okay. So first we will practice the Swarams really well. We will understand the gamakas and everything through the Swarams, and then we will learn how to sing the Sahithyam because it has to match exactly. So now coming to the important step, which is breaking down the gamakas. So when we are learning the Swaram, we have to break down each phrase and understand the gamakas. So for example, let's take the Swarams of Varavina. So it goes like
Ga ga pa pa.
So what do you see here?
Ga ga.
So you see that Jantai phrase here, right? You remember we learnt our Jantavarisais. What is the rule of the Jantavarisai? The first note will be plain, but the second note will get a push or a stress. Okay, like
Ga ga.
So get used to this push.
Ga ga.
Okay, so
Ga ga pa pa da pa sa sa.
So you see how I am gliding the da.
Da pa.
So where am I gliding from? I am gliding from the upper sa. So the upper sa position is so from there
Da pa.
Okay, so you should know where the glide is starting from and where it is landing. Okay,
Da pa sa sa.
those are plain notes. Then comes the next line.
Ri sa da da pa.
Lots of glides here, right? Take the first part.
Ri sa.
So here we have a big glide. Where are we gliding from? We are starting from
Da.
So from there,
Ri.
so actually we are singing,
Da ri.
but we are smoothly connecting it.
Ri. Ri sa. Da da.
So this is that same glide, you know, from sa to da. So
Da da pa.
then
Da pa.
Again the same glide on the.
Da pa ga ga re.
So now when we are singing ga, although I am singing only ga, I am actually gliding from pa to ga. So I am singing like
pa ga ga ga.
Okay, so
ga ga re.
So whenever you are singing these glides, you have to make sure that your voice is very smooth. So it should not be heard as two different notes. It should not be heard as
ga ga.
Not like that. It should be
ga ga.
So it's a smooth connection. So that is a great practice for your vocal flexibility as well. So in this manner, I will take every phrase of the Geetham and I will break it down in detail. So I will tell you what are the important gamakas, what are the voice techniques you need to use, and what are some of the concepts that we can understand through the phrase. And once we get very comfortable with the swaras, we will then move to the Sahithyam. So what did I say about the Sahithyam? It should have the same tune as the swaras. So there should be no difference. So for example, if I am singing the swaras like
ga ga pa pa,
then I have to sing the Sahithyam like
Varavina.
So the jantai stress which I gave in the swaras, I have to replicate it in the Sahithyam, right? Like
Varavina.
In the next part, if the swaram is
da pa sa sa,
then I have to replicate that glide.
Mridu pani.
So this is an important skill that you need to have to properly translate the gamakams from swaram to Sahithyam. Because usually singing the gamakams in swarams is easier, because at least we know what swara we are singing, what gamakam is happening there and so on. But when we translate it into the Sahithyam, the words are completely different, right? So sometimes we may miss certain gamakas or we may change certain gamakas while singing the Sahithyam. So you have to be very, very alert to make sure whatever nuances you sang in the swaram, the same thing has to be replicated with the Sahithyam. And then comes the second point about the Sahithyam. Normally when we are singing a Geetham, we cannot take breath wherever we feel like, right? We have to observe the split of the words and accordingly take breath. So for example, let's take this particular line. Now while singing swarams, we would have taken breath like this.
Re sa da da pa ga ga re.
Right? So after singing pa, we took a breath, then we started the next part. But now when we are singing the Sahithyam, we cannot take breath in the same place because the word split is Vana Ruha Lochana Rani. So we have to split the breath like
Vana Ruha Lochana Rani.
So we sing Vanaruha, then take a breath, then Lochana, then take a breath, then Rani. Okay. So we cannot take breath in the same place as we took in the Swaram, right? We cannot sing it like
Vanaruha Lochana Rani.
That doesn't make any sense. Okay. So in general, for every Geetham that we learn, we will pay attention to the split of the Sahithyam and we will make sure that we don't cut any word in between. So our breath control will be planned according to the words of the Sahithyam. And once we are comfortable singing the Swaram and Sahithyam, then we will move on to the Talam. Talam is a very important aspect of Carnatic music. Okay, so let's take this Geetham, Varavina. It is set to Chaturashra Jati Rupaka Talam, right? So how does that go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So now how does the Geetham fit into this?
Ga ga pa pa da pa sa sa re sa da pa ga ga re,
and so on. Okay, so once the Talam comes into the picture, then you have to be very, very alert because your Talam also has to be correct, your Swarasthanas also have to be correct, and your Gamakas also have to be correct. So there is a lot to focus on. So initially you have to be very, very alert when you're singing, but as and when you get more practice, it becomes part of your system. It becomes more natural for you to sing all of this together. Hope you enjoyed this introduction to the world of Geethams. In the full course, we are going to explore 7 beautiful Geethams in different ragas, and through these Geethams, we are going to learn so many important things about the raga, the gamakas, and various concepts of music. So I eagerly look forward to seeing you in the full course. It is available on the VoxGuru app, both on Android and iOS. So please subscribe to the course on the app. And if you're looking for live classes in Carnatic music, then we have a great curriculum for that as well. Just drop us a WhatsApp message right away. I have shared the link in the description. So just say hi and we'll get back to you with all the details. Let's take your singing to the next level.